We have one more question, Laura. I believe Burkhart.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you for taking the time to answer this. My name is Laura Burkhart. My mom was the one who spoke before. I just got a full-time job as a school social worker. I've been working in Title I schools. I got hired at a Title I school. I work with a lot of kids who, have ADHD, are in low income, and so my question about the Department of Education, I'm just really worried about it in general, specifically funding and enforcement for Title I schools, like the funding, as well for the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So I just wanted to ask, what is going to happen with the programs, this department, and also, as you guys are currently in Congress, what is something that the three of you can do as people in Congress to help support disabled students and support people from low-income families?
First off, thank you for your career in public education, particularly support our special needs students. My sister, Maria, my younger sister, 32 years as a special education teacher in the Cartwright district in Maryvale in the Phoenix area. Special ed teachers are a special group of people, so we owe you a huge debt of gratitude. The dismantling of the Department of Education is 100% illegal. The Department of Education was created by Congress. It was not created by this president. The fact that he and Elon Musk say they can unilaterally dismantle it is completely illegal. That's being challenged right now, and it deserves to be challenged. As you know, the main purpose of the Department of Education is to fund Title I schools, the lower income areas, including where we're having this event right now, so the Title I schools mentioned earlier, and that funding is critical to make sure that those students have as much of a chance as anyone to get the top quality education and advance in their lives and careers. Second is, exactly as you mentioned, special education, funding for special education programs, which you know personally just how critical that is for those students and for the entire student body. But you know what else they do in the Department of Education? Pell Grants. To give so many students an opportunity, often first-time college goer people's family, and of course, the University of Arizona and ASU, which happens to be in my district, don't boo. And NAU, of course, how many students get that opportunity to attend college because of the Pell Grant program, and this idea that somehow you can grant that money, you can dismantle the Department of Education and grant that money to the states. We know exactly what that means. Number one, it means a massive, under the best of circumstances, a massive cut to our support for public education. And in Arizona, if we give that money to Tom Horn, that means tragically additional voucherization of public education in the state of Arizona. We ain't going there, and that's why, number one, we're going to win this lawsuit because this is totally illegal what is happening, and we're going to make this. If they try to do this, if the Republicans won't stand up and push back on this particular issue, they dismantled USAID, they're trying to dismantle Social Security, but if they dismantle the Department of Education, they're going to pay a massive political price. The American people will not put up with that, and that is one of the key elements of our fight.
Mayor, I know we're running late on time. What really frustrates me right now is to see this administration targeting many of our most vulnerable Americans, and the way they're going after, first violating the due process rights of immigrants. It's disappearing people off the side of the streets.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. Antonin Scalia said this, that if you are in the United States, citizen or not, you have a right to due process. But they think they could attack them because they're marginalized people. Let's attack their rights. They're going after LGBTQ Americans, specifically trans Americans, in the most vile ways, whipping up issues. There are more children right now sick with the measles in Texas than there are trans kids in the NCAA trying to play sports. It is such a vilification to focus again on a vulnerable population.
Yeah.
And then they're targeting the supports that we have as a society for our incredible, beautiful children with disabilities. And to me, we are a society that, just like I said with healthcare, we have not done our societal responsibility to support the public education of K-12 kids with disabilities. We have not stepped up and done what we should do already. And now they're threatening these funds. Frederick Douglass said this clearly. To me, this is callous and cruel, and it also marks more of tyrannical societies than democratic ones that understand the importance of being there for all Americans, understanding that we're all in this together. I will tell you right now, the biggest poverty I'm worried about, and I've been fighting against child poverty, which I think is a moral obscenity. That's why I was proud to stand with some of my colleagues and get the expanded tax credit that cut the child poverty rate in half in our country, that showed once and for all that child poverty in America is not an inevitability, it is a policy choice.
Yep.
As Mark said so clearly, way back in the Obama days, the tax rates on the wealthiest Americans were a lot higher, and it was one of the times that the wealthiest Americans did the best. Stock market doubled during the 8 years of him. But poverty that I'm most worried about in this country is a poverty of empathy.
Yeah.
Is our inability to see each other, to understand each other's needs, to understand that families that have children with disabilities, they are our brothers and our sisters, and in many ways, they are a part of who we are. So I want to end just with this. In my last town hall in New Jersey, there was a young man named Joseph. This is why I love the power of social media. This video on our platforms has been seen millions of times. His mother came in to speak for him and said at the end of her remarks about her son with autism that he has terrible anxiety in front of people. But he insisted on coming to this town hall, and he had something he wanted to read. His voice shook and was halting. But the strength in his words, demanding that we protect the programs in Medicare and Medicaid that support his efforts to live independently, he spoke so strongly. We now have to understand that we have an obligation to speak up, to stand up, to rise up, to lift up the voices of our brothers and sisters, to make sure that no president with a cabinet full of billionaires and an out-of-control richest man in the world like Elon Musk, that these are not the folks that their callous and craven cuts to programs for everyday Americans are successful. We now have to show again and again and again that in this democracy we won't tolerate it and exercise our power to stop it. The way we stop this is not by condemning people, it's by beginning to expand their empathy by telling these stories to more people. Not just the people that we agree with, but calling to the conscience of our neighbors to say, enough is enough. Because this room is full, other rallies have been full, but we're still not at that tipping point yet. We need to get more Arizonans, more New Jerseyans to say this is the United States of America. We say we the people, not just some people, but all the people in our country deserve the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's right.
Well, Cory, so perfectly said. I think we should leave it there.